Students, today I have chosen one more interesting topic from your syllabus, that is conditional clause. Before we try to comprehend the concept of conditional clause, we had better understand what do we mean by clause. What is a clause? Clause means a part of a sentence. Clause means a part of a sentence. Is that clear to you? Now, let us come to the point. Today's topic is conditional clause. What is a conditional clause? Regarding conditional clause, you must remember that conditional clause is a type of subordinate clause. Conditional clause is a type of subordinate clause. Most commonly, introduced by the conjunction if or unless. Let's repeat. Conditional clause. Conditional clause is never a full sentence. Conditional clause is not a complete sentence. It is simply a part of a sentence. Conditional clause is a type of subordinate clause, most commonly introduced by the conjunction if or unless. Now, one more question arises as what does it express? When do we use it? It expresses factual implications or hypothetical situations. Conditional clause is a type of a subordinate clause, most commonly introduced by the conjunction if or unless. What does it express? It expresses factual implications or hypothetical situations. Now, I am going to explain it through certain examples. If I had worked hard, I would have become a doctor. Now, please, you carefully examine this sentence. If I had worked hard. Up to here it is one clause. If I had worked hard. This clause is a subordinate clause. Why do we call it as subordinate clause? That too has a reason. Because it is introduced by the conjunction if and does not show completeness. it shows incompleteness. If you tell only this much to someone, if I had worked hard, and then you leave the statement halfway, you do not complete it. You say, if I had worked hard, he or she or the listener won't be able to understand what you are trying to convey. If I had worked hard. So this clause up to here, up to this comma. Comma has been inserted here in order to denote a short pause. Here is a short pause. The sentence breaks here. If I had worked hard, I would have become a doctor. Now, you take this clause. I would have become a doctor. It shows completeness. It does not show incompleteness. It shows completeness. Therefore, this clause is termed in grammar as main clause. Main clause. This clause does not show completeness, therefore it is subordinate clause. As tense already explained, conditional clause is a type of subordinate clause. Since this clause is introduced by the conjunction if, therefore you may call it conditional clause, if clause. Conditional clause, if clause, or subordinate clause. If I had worked hard, I would have become a doctor. This part of the sentence, up to here, up to this comma, is called conditional clause because the clause shows a hypothetical situation here. If I had worked hard, it clearly implies that I hadn't worked hard, so I didn't become a doctor. I would have become a doctor. This part of the sentence is called conditional clause as it contains a hypothetical situation. On the other hand, this part of the sentence shows complete or gives complete meaning or makes a complete sense. Therefore, it is the main clause. Now, let us move on to different types of conditional clauses. We have 4 types of conditional clauses in English grammar, and they are or 4 types of conditional clauses, or simply we call them conditionals. Namely, firstly we have zero conditional, or present conditional. Zero conditional or present conditional. It shows whatever happens no. The first type of conditional clause is zero conditional or present conditional. It shows whatever happens normally. Whatever happens normally. For example, if you drive fast, you are likely to meet an accident. So it happens normally. If you don't work hard, you fail in the examination. It happens normally. If you do not obey your parents, or if you do not respect your teachers, you do not make progress in your life. If you work hard, you reach. Correct? If you work hard, you are able to achieve your goals in your life. These are present conditionals, or these are the examples of present conditional clause. But before that, I would like to give you the sentence structure. That will be more helpful. When you have to make zero conditional or present conditional, there is a particular sentence structure. That is, if we use it as a conjunction here, then present simple tense in the first clause, that is subordinate clause, then you have to add the present simple tense once more. The present simple tense. As you know, the sentence structure for the present simple tense is subject plus present form of verb plus object, or you can say subject plus first form of verb. Subject plus first form of verb oblique S form of verb plus object. Then once again, subject plus first form of verb oblique S form of verb plus object. Okay? Now, let's try to apply this sentence structure in order to make zero conditional clause or present conditional clause. And it is evident from the definition of the clause. It shows whatever happens normally. Whatever happens normally. If is subordinating conjunction here, then subject. Now, since the subject of the verb here happens to be second person, therefore we cannot use S form of verb, but first form of verb. If you waste your time, after that we have to denote a short pause here because the sentence breaks here. If you waste your time, you fail in the examination. If you waste your time, you fail in the examination. It happens normally. Those students who do not work hard or who waste their time, usually what happens? They fail in the examination. Remember here one thing in particular. The clause if you waste your time is a conditional clause. Is a conditional clause as it expresses a hypothetical situation. If you waste your time. And you know this clause is introduced by the conjunction if, therefore we say that this clause is conditional clause, a type of subordinate clause. You fail in the examination is the main clause. This is how you can form sentences in the present simple tense. Now we have one more type of conditional clause that we call first conditional. first conditional or will conditional. First conditional or will conditional. This conditional is used to express this conditional is used to express the consequences of a present action in future. Please concentrate here. First conditional or will conditional. This conditional is used to express the consequence of a present action in future. Whatever you do at present, what will be its consequences in the future? That's what is exactly expressed by this conditional. And so far as the sentence structure is concerned, it is as usual. We take first if as a conjunction, then present simple tense, present simple tense. This tense is to be used in the subordinate clause, present simple tense, followed by future simple tense. Future simple tense. Now, we are going to apply this sentence structure, and it will help us to make first conditional or will conditional. If you work hard, if you work hard in the present tense, what will be its consequences in the future? Put a comma here, it denotes a short pause. If you work hard. Now, we have to use future simple tense, and for that purpose you must be knowing its sentence structure, that is subject plus will oblique shall plus first form, or you may also call it as present form of verb, plus object. If you work hard at present, then what will happen in the future? If you work hard, you will pause the examination. If you work hard, you will pause the examination. This is an example of this present condition. This what we call it, first conditional or will conditional. If you work hard, you will pause the examination. If you drive fast, if you drive fast at present, then what will happen in the future? You will meet with an accident. So this is what we call first conditional or will conditional. In order to comprehend this fully, you must be knowing the sentence structure of present simple tense and that of future simple tense. And this subordinate clause is always introduced by the conjunction if or unless. Okay, see you in the next session.